Hello everyone, so today we are expanding what we did with our recent series, where we broke down footage for flaws and potential improvements. I thought it was a fun process, but it did not offer enough value in my opinion. So, for today's video, we're going to break down the map and look at each location, where we will be looking at lines of sight and strategies of how to best survive the early game. If you enjoy this kind of video and would like to see more of them in the future, be sure to drop a like and leave a comment if you have any idea how to make this series even better. I would love to hear your thoughts. With that out of the way, let us look at our first drop location for this series. To make this easier, we can break down the map into sectors and dive into each location. First up, let us look at Sector 1, Zone A. From the frozen lakes to the snow-covered hills of the Gora Dam, we have a variety of locations which we can drop into early game. I personally like to drop at Block 17, and I shall break this down in a second, but first, let us look at our options. Within Sector 1, we have 3 main drop points, which can be further broken down. We have the Gora Dam, Block 16, and Block 17. This sector holds a single ammunition crate at the police station, 8 buy stations, and a wide variety of vehicles in case you need a quick escape. The most obvious drop point is the Gora Dam, which holds 4 potential drop locations. We have the Upper Dam, the fire station, the main generator complex, and the Gora Dam west entrance. Before dropping into either of these locations, I would first consider looking to see where other players are going to land, because that way you can make a better informed decision of where you should drop and how you should approach the first fight in the game. So let's say a team drops a fire station and you're committed to dropping a dam. There are 2 ways you can approach this. One by having 2 players drop at the houses to get a line of sight of the enemy, and another player dropping on the upper dam, who will then attack from the side. If you're playing solos, you can of course use any one of these plays. The goal here is not to rush the fire station, but rather box the enemy players inside. 9 times out of 10, they will simply run out in the open once they've finished looting, making them an easy kill. Once you have the zone clear, it is then time to press on to the main generator complex. Now that we have the high ground, we have got the advantage. From atop the dam, you should be able to spot any players within the complex or even at the west entrance. This move is self-explanatory. If the rooftop is clear, then drop down and start working your way through the building. Once you've cleared the site, I would suggest buying a low-light crate from either one of the buy stations and then pushing your way to the west entrance. This is where things get a little complicated. If a team is dropped at Block 17, you're most likely going to encounter them here. The best move to make is either push it directly as quick as possible, or follow the river around to the left and come in from the back if possible. With the noise you have made previously at the dam, a team will most likely be waiting to ambush you while you're at the west entrance, so bear this in mind. The other main drop point for Sector 1 is Block 17. Depending on how hot a drop this is, you're probably best avoiding the large red building in the centre. It is great to defend from the inside, but a nightmare to defend from players externally. Due to it being a popular building regardless, I would suggest dropping on either the small buildings or the second largest building to the left. That way you can simply box the enemy players in the centre and get an easy team wipe. Once you secure Block 17, you're left with a few options. You can either bottleneck the west entrance and ambush the team moving the dam, or you could rotate to either the police station or Block 16. This is up to you and how the zone is dictating your game. If the zone is pushing south, I would suggest rotating to the police station and making use of the ammo stash within. But if the zone is pushing to the east, then I would suggest pushing towards Block 16. First, let us look at the police station. Your best play is to take the first building if there are any players waiting here, and then have your teammates rotate to the second building. Bear in mind that there are a lot of lines of sights from the police station and from atop of the cliff, so try to get in cover as quick as possible. If you do decide to push to Block 16, bear in mind you may have to deal with players sniping from the tower at the airport, or a team already waiting for you there. To avoid this, I would suggest rotating up the frozen river and using the hill as cover. Once you've taken the warehouse, you should be free to building hop and clear each house one by one. If you've managed to achieve all this within one game, you have now completely cleared an entire sector. This should be your objective in the early game, and I would suggest trying to avoid jumping from sector to sector in the early stages. Once the zone starts closing in, then it's now time to push to a new sector. Well guys, that is going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed this one, be sure to leave a like. Dislike if you did not, that's not a problem. Remember to leave your thoughts and let me know if you'd like to see more of this series, and consider taking a second to share or subscribe if you would like to make your way back to the channel. My name is Dusty. I shall catch you in our next video, where we shall be breaking down the G36. Until then, I'll catch you guys in the next one.